This is vlog number one for my final major project, and I'm just going to be talking about the first sort of few stages in evaluating how I feel I'm going so far. It's very early doors of this project. I've just thought of my idea. As you can see here, I've got up my final major proposal. It's the first thing I've done for this project, basically where you sort of just give an overview of like what's your project, like what your idea is, what you've learned on this course so far, and like how you're going to evaluate this stuff. So I'm just going to sort of talk about the process I went through when thinking of my idea, just so sort of I can remind myself and sort of let people know sort of how I done it. So before I even thought of an idea, I wanted to think of like a genre. So I decided to go down like the post-apocalyptic route. I thought this would be a good one because it genuinely interests me, like the different sort of ways it can happen, and I've watched a lot of films and short films based on it. So I felt like I had a good amount of knowledge on sort of like the elements you'd have to include. So once I sort of figured out that I wanted to do the post-apocalyptic theme, I began to just sort of brainstorm different ideas. I watched a lot of different movies, which I'm going to do case studies on, such as Zombieland, the Road, if you've seen that, 28 weeks later, 28 days later. And then I watched a couple of short films, one in particular, Elegy, which is a very good short film, that just gave me like inspiration. So what I basically done was I'd watch them, and then I'd screenshot different parts, and I'd sort of take different scenes out of them and sort of change them in my own sort of personalized way. But it really like inspired me to sort of get these different ideas going. So once I'd sort of looked through these short films, I began to sort of look more in depth, and started to think about how I could actually do these ideas I came up with. So I decided to go down the route of the reason for the apocalypse was like a large infection, sort of airborne disease that has just killed everyone. Well, not everyone, but like wiped out, billions of people. I felt like this was like more not easy to do, but I felt like I could create better results with it than if I went down like the typical zombies route, which I know a lot of them do go down. So I felt like having this disease thing, I could really like focus in on it and sort of go into great detail to sort of describe this. So once I sort of figured out that, I just began to sort of brainstorm like costume and stuff, like, and props and stuff, and like I looked at locations. So this was all like the really early stages of this project, but I did spend a good like 2 weeks just on developing the idea. So as you can see here, like that is sort of more in depth my idea. I'll be doing like lots of more research where I talk about it and sort of compare it to different things. But yeah, I'm really pleased at how it's going right now. As you can see down here as well, I talk about how I'm going to evaluate my film. So what I'm planning on doing is, once my short film has been viewed by people, I like to do a questionnaire to them people, asking like how they feel after they watch the film and what effect it gave to them. Because my main plan for this film is to get like feel for the audience to feel like quite sad and depressed. I know that sounds quite bad, but that is the effect that this short film should hopefully give. And I also want to remind them like how important family is. That's like quite a main theme in this, like family. As I in the throughout the film, they talk about quite a lot of like flashbacks of the family and like different possessions he holds that just gives him like memories of them. So like it shows how much like importance the family has. So far I feel like that's what I've done, and I feel like it's going really well considering like the early stages we're in so far. So yeah, I'm happy with how it's going right now. In terms of properly evaluating it, things I could have done better, I'm not really too sure. I feel like I've got quite a strong idea that I can still continue to develop. I'm glad I've started one. I could have left it until we actually started the new project in college, but I thought that using the Easter holiday to my advantage to think the idea would come and help me. So yeah, I feel like so far this is where I'm up to. I'm probably going to end this vlog here because I've just sort of talked about the idea I came up with and the first bit of work I've actually done for this project. So yeah, that's about it. Also, just quickly going on to this, Harvard referencing, which is basically just referencing the work you've done. I'm going to make sure that I keep up doing that and talk about it in my vlogs to make sure that I don't sort of forget to do it or not do as much, because I know that's a really important aspect of this project in order to pass. So I'll definitely be spending time making sure I've done all that. So yeah, I'm going to end this vlog here because I feel like I've talked about the stages I've done so far, and I'll make another one when I've done the next stage of this project. So yeah, cool, done.